Hey guys, welcome back to Monique's Book List. So we're going to start a mini series about my favorite um, mystery series, my top three, and just my top three that I like reading or listening to. So I'm going to start with my favorite one, and I'm going to move. I'm not going to do it all in one video. They're going to be three different videos, and I'm going to move really quick. So the first series is called the Lady Sherlock Holmes series. It's written by Cherie Thomas, and she's going to write. There's three books in this series right now. She has agreed to write a quartet, so there'll be one last book, most likely coming out in 2019, and after that, that's it. I know that she writes different types of books, so I think they're more romance, the other types of books she writes. I found out about this series because Audible was having a special where it was buy get two books for one credit, and it was funny because I love Sherlock Holmes, I love mysteries, and there was two books at the same time that were a part of the sale that were taking a new take on Sherlock, and it was like a woman, like what if Sherlock Holmes was a woman, and I got them both. So I got this one and another book called The Case of Charlotte Holmes, which I hated. I just don't think it's. I hated that book. Sorry, I don't wanna break it down. Anyway, so this book, the Lady Sherlock Holmes series, um, I really enjoy it for various reasons. I enjoy it because um, the there's a theme about women empowerment and also growth in you know personal growth in one of the characters, which I really appreciated, and also about um, society normal beauty norms and things like that. So they talk about it in a very conversational way and not like a preachy way that I really appreciate. I appreciated it a lot, and it's what has endeared the book to me. Was like she took on these issues for the time frame, which is for the time period of Sherlock Holmes, and it wasn't heavy-handed, so I appreciated that about the book. So I'm going to give you some background on the books. I'm going to give you some backgrounds about the main characters, and then I'm going to get into the mysteries very quickly. All right, so I told you the premise is that Sherlock Holmes is a woman and not a man. And Sherlock Holmes basically is a cover for this very intelligent woman by the name of Charlotte Holmes. Charlotte Holmes is the second child in a family of four, or a family of four. She has three sisters. One is already married. She's older. She has two younger sisters, Livia and Bernadine. Is Bernadette or Bernadine? I think it's Bernadine. Bernadette. I think it's Bernadette. Um, and she, of course, has parents that don't approve of her intellect, don't approve of her what they consider at the time to be weird behavior for a lady. And so Scarlett Charlotte sets out to basically um, find her own way in life, and the way she starts about it is it's kind of not great. She gets herself disgraced from society, and because of that, her family, of course, is upset with her. They want to hide her away, but she decides to run away and make her own way. Of course, she meets her Watson, and along the way, you also are introduced to her friend, Lord Ingram, who has been her friend since he was 16. They kind of have a little bit of a chemistry there. You also meet Inspector Treadles, who's my favorite character. His growth in this series makes me very happy. And of course, you meet Moriarty is in there. Lord Bencraft. I never know how to say his last name, but Lord Ingram's brother is also in the series. Um, so it's kind of the background of two things that's very important about Charlotte that I need to mention. One is that she is heavier than the average woman. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's considered, but she's not skinny. And she talks about it as a person. Like she knows that she can eat so much because she's comfortable with her weight. But she knows there's a point for her where she's not comfortable with her body, and she knows that when she gets there, she needs to scale it back. And I appreciate that because, but she's not trying to be skinny by any means. She's very comfortable with who Charlotte is and how Charlotte looks because technically it doesn't really matter to her. What matters to her is her brain. Charlotte also cleared. I don't know. I don't see. I don't know a lot about social disorders except that I know there's a few people that are very close to me that have them. Um, but I don't know how to define them. But this character clearly has some form of a social disorder where she doesn't pick up on social cues. She makes people uneasy because she notices things about them that they're trying to hide. And she doesn't really like a lot of physical connection with other people. Like she doesn't want to be hugged for too long. So I don't know what for me to say what it is would be ignorant of me. So I'm not going to say that. All I can tell you is that she clearly has an issue with there is a social disorder. I don't know which one to declare it to be or to type it as. I don't know what it is, but I know she has a social disorder, and it's part of the book. That's why I mentioned it. Like it's very clear that's why people were put off by Charlotte. All right, so let's get into the mysteries. The first mystery is called A Study in Scarlet Women. You get introduced to Charlotte and her family. You get introduced to how she's, pretending to be Sherlock, how she met Lady Mary Watson, and and then the series, the mystery in the first book is there's a person who is murdered, and the suspects in the murder are both her father and her sister. She has to clear the name. You go on the journey with her, Lord Ingram, and Inspector Treadles. And the funny thing that I don't think I'm giving anything away is that Inspector Treadles doesn't know that the person who's truly helping him solve these murders is this woman who has been disgraced from society, and it messes with his head because he now looks at everything that he looks at his friend different because his friend Lord Ingram is friends with this disgraced woman who helped solve these murders. That's weird to him, and he's uncomfortable because he's like, women are this, men are this, and women should only be this, and you're disgraced on top of that. Oh, like there's a lot of conflict in him about that. On top of that, his wife inherits a company, and she's now the CEO of a company, and he's very put off by that. Like it affects his marriage because again, he's the man and she's the woman, and she's just stays at home and takes care of the house, and he goes and makes the money. He goes to be the hero, and you you you, you enjoy the transition of him in these books. Um, the funny thing about this is Livia, her sister, is you kind of get the damsel in distress kind of thing from her a little bit, but then you realize she's quite strong. She's not a damsel at all. So you find that out in the first book. And the second book is called A Conspiracy in Belgravia. It's the second book. It was written in 2017. The first book was written in 2016. The second book, there are 3 random murders throughout London, and they're trying to figure out how they tie into what's going on with how are they connected, and you find out that basically it's really interesting. That's when you get the introductory. They introduce you to um, what is his name, Moriarty, and they also introduce you to, oh my gosh, a character by the name of Myron Finch, and you find out how he ties into all of these murders and how he's connected to the main characters. So it's really interesting. The second one, in my opinion, I think the second one was the best book of all of them. And the third book is called The Hollow of Fear. And oh, I need to mention something in the second book. I'm so excited about these books. I need to calm down. So in the second book, another big thing is that Lord Ingram, who is friends with Charlotte, is married to, of course, Lady Ingram. Well, him and Lady Ingram aren't in a romantic marriage. They're in a kind of an arranged marriage. Like she married him for status, and for money, and then got kind of upset when she realized he wasn't as rich as she thought he was gonna be. And she comes to Sherlock Holmes to find her long lost love, who happens to be Myron Finch. And it's weird because she's coming to Charlotte, who is a friend of Lord Ingram's, to help her find her long lost boo thing. And so this leads us to the third book. And in the third book, you have, again, it's called The Hollow of Fear. Lady Ingram comes up missing, and of course Lord Ingram is implicated, and you just go on this ride of how is Charlotte going to help him figure out why she's missing, and at the same time Charlotte needs to help her sisters get out of the horrible situation with her parents, and then the romance between Charlotte and Lord Ingram kind of develop. It's really subtle. It's nothing like really in your face. And then you have um, uh, Inspector Treadles. His development really shows in this book. He really comes into the character that at the beginning that you believe he is, and then you realize, okay, no, he's a bit of a chauvinist, and then he develops into this like well-rounded guy who realizes that his wife can be a CEO and still, I keep saying CEO because that's a modern term, but she runs a business because her father died and her brother is sick, so she has to run the business. She inherits it. She has to run it. But he realizes that his wife can still do that and still be the woman that he respects and loves and cherishes, and he doesn't make him less of a man. I think that theme throughout this book makes me happy. And also Livia, her growth in the book makes me happy, and the fact that this mystery is so well done. The third one is well done too, because you don't even see the ending coming until you get to the end, and you're like, didn't see that coming. So anyway, I enjoyed that about this book. Overall, the series are very good. Some people probably will tell you that they saw the ending, they saw it coming. Okay, you saw it. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I hope you picked them up. Again, they are called the Lady Sherlock Holmes series. There's 3 books. I think there's going to be a 4th. This is way too long. But thank you for watching and listening. I'm going to try to get better at cutting these reviews down to something even shorter. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.